Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hitting the Field special Black History Month episode. I am your host for today, Tatiyana Smallwood. I am happy to welcome a group of my fellow Black Hitting the Field panelists, Armond Sarduy, Carl Millionard, Chris Davis, and Nick Santiago. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me here today, but before we get into any super serious Black History Month talk, I want to start with a little bit of pop culture. Last Thursday night, Black Panther premiered in theaters worldwide. According to the New York Times, the movie, quote, roared into theaters as a full-blown cultural event, breaking box office records and shattering a myth about the overseas viability of movie rooted in Black culture, end quote. The movie reportedly grossed over $387 million over the weekend, according to ComScore, the top-grossing film in history by a Black director while featuring a large Black cast. Guys, let's break down Black Panther a little bit. What do you see as the cultural significance of the film, and what were some of the things that stuck out about the film? Armond, we'll start with you.
It's just the Afrofuturism, like they took the African culture and made it futuristic. There's just so much pride in that movie. It's very epic. The cast did a beautiful job. The director did a beautiful job. And you know, it's at the end of the movie, it just made me proud to be Black.
Facts.
I would have to agree. I love like the rituals, the traditions, like the chants and the singing and dancing. The cast was great. Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, T'Challa, Chadwick, they both had great performances. The character development was amazing throughout the whole entire movie. Like Armand said, it made me feel good. Like I felt proud after watching that movie. They gotta make a sequel too now.
Facts. What about you guys? What do you think?
I personally, like, if you look at it, this is the first ever, you know, you had Blade, obviously, but like as far as Marvel, you've never had a character this prominent on television. And you know, so many people look up to your Supermans, they look up to, you know, your Captain Americas and DC and Marvel. But I think, like, yeah, there's going to be little Black kids who are going to be like, I want to be a Black Panther. But now we have something where it's like little Asian kids, little white kids are going to be like, I want to be Black Panther. And that says a lot about, like, where we've come as, like, a group, like, African Americans. Like, and I had so much pride sitting in there and just seeing, like, in theaters, like, all these people from all walks of life like really enjoying this, because it was like people kind of soiled it a little bit when they were saying like, you know, oh, it's a political movie, but it was everything, you know what I'm saying? It was a Marvel film, but it was powerful, and I really stood with it, you know.
Okay, Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I loved the play between Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, like a revolutionary, but like a radical revolutionary, and Chadwick Boseman's trying to take his people to the next level, but in a way that his father didn't. His father kept him bubbled, didn't want to help any of his own kind. And I think the play with Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan helped Chadwick Boseman see that, like, help your people, even though he did it in a radical way, a crazy way, but still, he brought it to light, help your people. And at the end of the movie, we saw that he started to help the world.
And that was the Malcolm X, MLK thing that we saw in the movie.
So what was the favorite scene that you guys had throughout the whole movie?
Well, I have to say the Michael B. Killmonger and T'Challa challenge.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he just went in there and, you know, did what he had to do in his own house. Like, you know, he just took everything from him. Like, you know, and he threw him off a cliff.
Both challenges were hard.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Sorry, Armand, give these people a little heads up. Spoilers. I haven't seen the movie yet.
But sorry, you guys, viewers out there, but make sure you guys watch the movie. Just pay close attention. Yeah, so that part's like, you know, he means business. He's there to, like, to take the throne. That's what he wanted. So
I think my favorite part about the challenge was the beginning, where they had all the different tribes and their different colors.
Yeah. And
you could see them all just like chanting and just supporting their one king. And I think that was really dope to see, because that's how I guess it really is.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
All action, no play.
Oh,
yeah. Even though it got me nervous being up that high and they only had a little fighting stage, I was like, bro, this is kind of dangerous. And then it got to the edge every time, and then eventually T'Challa off the thing. I'm like, geez.
I was kind of nervous. I didn't know if he was going to live, but I was like, well, it's the first 30 minutes, so.
You can't kill off the main character.
But the challenge was really good, though. The challenge was really good.
My favorite scene was the heist scene and then the car chase scene. That scene was dope too.
Yeah.
The technology that they had, like his little sister, like in the lab driving the car, and he's on top of the car, and the suit that she made
hit him too? That clean new suit with like a
kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
the
fire.
kinetic energy, that bounce back.
That bounce back.
That was
fire,
very nice.
fire.
That was very nice. Yeah, I think the technology was like one of the biggest moments of the whole entire movie. Just like she kind of was like your new STEM researcher, you know? So I think that was really nice to have a Black woman in that role as well.
Excellent.
The new Disney princess, everyone's favorite new Disney princess now. That's what, according to everybody.
I mean, you can have both, Princess Tiana.
That whole movie had Black culture like stuff in it. She was like, you know, doing the whole like her swagger where she's like, what are those?
I was just going to say the what are those?
And then she was just like, you know, she's like, oh, we get to fix another white boy. It was just like how she brought it together because she was comedic relief and she wasn't even trying, but she had so much flair. And it's like, that's like what Black women are, you know what I'm saying? Like what she was, it's like young kid, just smart, intelligent, knows how to speak, just everything about her. And it was like, those are the moments too that I just was like, man, like they're getting it right. Like, people talk about Medea so much because it's like, you know, that's like the ratchet side of Black culture, but this was like the elegance of Black culture.
The thing about that too is like, you know, T'Challa didn't really overlap any other like supporting characters. Like, you know, he didn't overlap Shuri, he didn't overlap Okoye, he didn't overlap Nakia. They all had like different type of, like, you know, just vibes with them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they just went on the screen, you know. Shuri's, she's the STEM major or whatever.
Exactly.
And, you know, Okoye, you know, she's the general, she protects the throne, and Nakia, you know, T'Challa's ex, but, you know, she wants to, you know, help others, but not in the least radical way.
So what do you guys think was the cultural impact throughout the movie? Like, what did it have afterwards?
Like, I remember the scene when they were going to do the trade for the vibranium. You saw the three standing there, and they each had the different colors, green, black, and red. And that's the Pan-African flag. I just learned that today, and I saw a meme on Instagram. Yeah, I think it's just like the cultural impact you see with this movie. It's just like everyone, you see people in dashikis going in to see the movie. Yep. They just embrace that, we have our hero. Our Black hero is out here. T'Challa, the king. So Wakanda, he's their hero. He's our hero, essentially.
Nice. Did you guys wear anything in particular? Because I know I wore my dashiki.
No, I wear all black.
Yeah,
black.
I was in all black.
I had like all black.
My work uniform was all black, so I just went after work. So that's nice to see the movie, but
exactly. I think the fit was nice. I saw someone wearing all black with the scarf over, kind of like at the end of the movie when he had the exact fit. I was really feeling that, and then maybe the head wrap too as well.
No, so, gotta have it.
I saw somebody. This is like off-brand, but just something to plug in your brain for the future. Like Wakanda or Zamunda, like which place would you want to go to?
Oh.
That one's a good one.
Because those like two places. If they're Wakanda for real,
I'll be
there.
We're awesome, guys.
Technology.
Thanks for listening to the first chunk of today's show. And when we come back, we get into some actual sports talk here on the Hitting the Field. So stay with us.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not far. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though. I want them to see the whole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more.
He's out. By sports reporters. And Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog. Hitting the
field.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For For more information or to give your input on UCF apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF apps today.
Welcome back to Hitting the Field. Sitting with me today is the same Black panel that we had to continue our Black History Month special episode. Since this is a sports program, we begin to talk about the prominent athletes throughout Black history. We all have selected one person, so why don't we start with you, Armond? Who is your athlete that you want to talk about today?
Well, in this modern age, I had to say Colin Kaepernick. I think what he did was, to me, it wasn't really problematic. It just put the conversation out there for people to speak on, systematic racism, it's not, it's not a joke, it's real, institutional racism is real, and, we just need more social justice, in the atmosphere. But I think overall, I had to go with Muhammad Ali also too, because he brought a stepping stone for all the Black athletes, to be not just athletes but like social warriors.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. What about for you, Carl?
I'll go with Jackie Robinson. Him breaking the barrier for all Black athletes in baseball, and you don't see now in today's game as many Black prominent baseball players, but at the end of the day, he did break the barrier for them. And it was such a big thing going to Brooklyn for them. And back then, it was so much racism that he had to go through. The fans that would just chant bad things to him when he was playing. And his manager would stick up for him, and he wanted him to be there for them. So Jackie Robinson definitely was a breakout barrier Black athlete, in my opinion.
Yeah, he played a huge role. I think he had to basically carry the whole Black culture on his back while he was out there, even on and off the field. So I think he did an amazing job doing that as well and paving the way for everyone after that.
Oh, definitely.
What about you guys?
For me, it's Arthur Ashe. First Black man to ever win singles at Wimbledon, Australian Open, U.S. Open. And what he was able to do is when he contracted HIV around the same time as Magic Johnson, and he created an institute to defeat HIV in urban communities and, for everyone. And it was one of the first kind of like movements to kind of combat something that had become a wide epidemic, in the country. So for me, he's one of the people that I think really made an impact.
Awesome. Nick?
I'm also with the OG, Muhammad Ali. I mean, he stood up, he was the people's champ. He stood up for his community, for not even just his community from where he was born. I mean, his community all over the world, Africa, here in America. He stood up for people's rights. He went to jail because he didn't want to go to a war. Yeah. Because he didn't want to fight someone that never did him any wrong. You understand? So it's like someone like that, someone with a moral character. That's definitely
stuck up for a lot of people's rights. I think so too. I, for one, had Serena Williams. She's definitely one of my favorite athletes. Only woman athlete on the Forbes list, so that's definitely something to take notice of. Number 51, and 23 Grand Slams. I don't think anyone's touching that anytime soon. So
played while pregnant in Australian Open.
Exactly, and we already know.
She's a monster. She's so amazing. Exactly. She dominates the sport single-handedly. Exactly. Her alone.
I think one of my favorite things about hers too is the sponsors that she can get as well. Just because before Althea Gibson, when she was trying to get sponsors back in the day, it was really hard for her as a Black woman. So I think Serena Williams being sponsored by Nike, Audemars, especially an expensive company like Audemars, I think that's a huge deal for her to get such a large contract like that. So, but what do you guys think of each other's picks?
No, I like Muhammad, of course. Muhammad's just like he said, back then was a social warrior. If he had social media back then, Muhammad Ali would just be outspoken about a lot of things, whether it be politics, racial issues, things like that. Muhammad was a good one. I like the Arthur Ashe one too. He was one of great tennis players of all time, and he's like you said, that Arthur Ashe Foundation thing that he's doing for HIV in the urban communities. That's something that's
that's a good pick. Not too many people know him, so exactly. It's a good pick. Get his name out there for sure.
Well, they have whenever they do the awards, the ESPYs, they bring them up, but not many people know, what did he do?
Background,
exactly.
But there's another thing about Muhammad Ali. He has that, iconic photo with Bill Russell and Kareem.
And Jesse Jackson.
And that is just,
speaks volume.
I wonder what that would look like today, when, LeBron, you probably have, Cap.
Obama.
We're talking about athletes. I mean, he did.
It was a mix.
It
was a mix.
But he was in the mix.
It was a mix.
Yeah, but yeah, a mix. Yeah, for
Have you
sure.
seen Obama's jump shot?
I mean, yeah.
Obama's jump shot is real nice.
Of course.
Anyone else that should have been mentioned?
I mean, there's so many that we can.
Jackie Robinson, Hank Aaron,
I'll say Bill
Jesse
Russell.
Owens,
Jesse Owens.
Joe Louis,
Kareem.
Kareem was an activist too. There's so many prominent black athletes
really
that were great on the field and off the field as well. So
I
shout out to all the great black athletes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So we have our men and we have, what about women? Any more women?
Let's see, women wise. Let's see, who you got, Chris? You got
why are you throwing it on me?
I'll speak on this. I think Serena paved the way for other, young black women to become that black athlete as well as that black activist. So I don't think Serena will be the only one. Like, in the future there will be other black activists that are women also.
What about her sister, Venus? We can't leave her out.
Of
course not.
She got majors.
Venus too.
I mean, together they both have over like the million titles.
Like,
exactly.
You could be Serena Williams and Michelle Obama at the same time. In terms of activism.
Lisa Leslie was the first woman to ever dunk in a WNBA game.
True.
Nice.
Gabby Douglas saw her gold medal.
Oh yeah, Gabby Douglas. How did we
Yeah.
forget about my dog
Douglas.
Gabby? Yeah, she
Simone
was definitely
Biles as well. Yeah, they got.
Now you have Sloane Stephens. She's out here
She's
killing it in
up there
tennis
too.
as well. Yeah, that was a really hard match.
Shoot, Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Oh, Layla.
Layla.
How we? I know I'm forgetting somebody.
Somebody over here.
Awesome. All right, that's all the time we have to talk about some more historical athletes in the game. But stay with us because when we come back, we'll have a little more of today's special episode.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though. I want them to see the whole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more.
He's out. By sports reporters. And Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog. Hitting
the field.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Hello, and thanks for sticking with us on this Black History Month special episode of Hitting the Field. In this news week, we had a Fox News reporter who responded to an uninterrupted clip with LeBron James and Kevin Durant in which he told the pair to just shut up and dribble. While insulting and perceiving a lack of intelligence from LeBron James for leaving high school a year early, there was obviously a huge amount of racial coding and attempts to belittle possibly the most socially aware athlete of this generation. So I would love to get your thoughts on what was the importance of athletes speaking out on social issues today in an age like LeBron James and Kaepernick leading the way. Nick, we'll start with you.
This whole shut up and dribble and he wanted to leave high school a year early, it has nothing to do with anything. I mean, we're all Americans. We should all have a voice. We're all You know, like, isn't that what isn't that why we vote?
Freedom of speech.
Exactly. I mean, he didn't finish high school, but have you seen his business deal?
He finished high school.
He did finish high
He
school,
graduated.
right? Okay,
graduated.
so that's wrong information on her. Thank you. And have you seen his business deals? You know what this man's worth?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I mean, like, because you got a high school diploma means you stop learning in life?
Yeah.
I mean, comments like that is just,
Uncalled for.
yeah, it's dumb, it's uncalled for. I mean, I love athletes like that. I mean, for us and for our kids and for our kids' kids to have black men that stand up like that and that good role models, I mean, that helps us as a people.
For sure. Chris?
Yeah, like, it's funny because, you know, people only say certain things when they don't agree with it. I think it was Chris Long who ended up putting up a thread of all of the people that have been on Fox that are not political commentators, athletes, you know,
Kid Rock.
Everybody, yeah, Kid Rock, yeah, Ja Rule on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just funny because it's like y'all are so hypocritical over there, and it's funny because everything LeBron said it really was a microcosm of everything that she was, you know, spewing out of her mouth before she even said it. So it's like, this is exactly what we're talking about. And, you know, I feel that it is so important in today's climate to speak if you're an athlete. Because I think right now, in looking at our generation, it's like there may be some that are a little bit tone deaf to the people that have knowledge about certain things. Because you hear them all the time. It's like, all right, this is a guy on CNN. But if your favorite athlete, we were just talking about Black Panther, we were just talking about Chadwick, a character. You know how powerful that's going to be? In today's society, that's going to, like, wreck things. It's going to change things. So for athletes, I think that, yes, they might be the most important people in society when talking about politics and stuff. The day has changed. It's a new day.
I think it's crazy how they try and take athletes' voices away, as if when they leave the court or they leave the field that they're not a regular person, or they don't go through the same type of social issues as we do. I mean, they might not go through the same financial situations as us, but as far as how people look at them, how they treat them, it's, you know, it's the same. So
definitely, I agree. It's like, you're an athlete, you have a podium. Like, people look up to you. You have followers all around the world. Kids look up to you, like LeBron James. Like, when the Trayvon Martin incident happened and he's on the Miami Heat pregame, he had everybody in hoodies before the game. Like, you have the Don't Breathe shirt.
I Can't Breathe.
The I Can't Breathe shirt. Like, he's such a social warrior for us in the movement. That's why I consider LeBron one of the GOATs. Oh, like, he does so much for the community. He donates to kids' school foundations, gives scholarships out. He has a big social platform. So it's great for athletes like LeBron and others who piggyback on him and do things on their own to speak out to the people in the world.
Yeah, I saw the comments as, like, incredibly ignorant, especially, you know, saying LeBron didn't graduate high school, but he did, though. Also, you take the power and the fame away and the money. LeBron's just an average U.S. citizen. Like, you know, he still lives in this country, he still pays his taxes and whatnot. And, you know, he should know, like, you know, racism firsthand because he had the N-word sprayed on his house, you know, during the playoffs. So, also, you know, he's such a, you know, a good role model for kids. As a matter of fact, like, you know, he spent so much time, you know, getting kids to college. And actually, I think he's also, you know, building a new school in
I was going to say, isn't there a school in Ohio?
So to tell LeBron, like, oh, don't worry about any social justice, just keep your mouth shut, just shut up and dribble, like, no, don't do that. Like, you know, you're supposed to encourage athletes like that because that's what kids look up to. You know, it's just, yeah, I didn't think, and also, I don't think he should be on a show either, because, you know, just mind your business. You know, just keep doing your thing. You know, actions speak louder than words. You know, just keep doing your thing, keep spreading the message, keep influencing kids.
She probably just wants them for the ratings anyways.
Yeah.
I think
Hannity
Hannity and Limbaugh haven't. They don't have college education either.
Yeah, there's some people over there who don't have.
So it's like exactly that's what I'm saying. Like they were trying to twist the narrative a little bit to fit what they have to say, and it's like.
And also too, it's been going on since, like, you know, this type of talk has been going on since, you know,
for a long
NFL
time
players
now, right?
and since NFL players started, you know, kneeling down for the anthem. Oh, you know, don't kneel for the anthem. Just
shut up and play.
Just shut up and play football.
Isn't that crazy?
It is really crazy.
Just make me money. Just show up and play football.
That's what they want us to do, but at the end of the day, we all are people, so we have our own voice. But finally, We're at the end of the show, and we want to end on a little bit of a lighter note. Obviously, hip-hop and culture, hip-hop culture and sports culture have been coming together and blending since the early 90s. So we want to end our show on this note. What is your favorite rap lyric about sports of all time? Let's try and censor ourselves, guys. I know it's going to be a little bit hard, but we'll start with you, Nick.
All right. So my lyric comes from a guy named Aubrey Graham. Or we call him Drake. It's Kobe about to lose 150 M's. Kobe, my guy, I hate it had to be him. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
You were with me shooting in the gym.
That's a great one. All right, who can top it?
That's a classic.
Okay,
So,
here we go.
I have, Mr. West, Kanye West.
Okay.
New God Flow. He went on to say, went from the most hated to championship God Flow. The only feeling me and LeBron know. And we know LeBron, he's a champion, 3-time champion, and he went from, he's still like one of the most hated athletes in all of sports right now. But he was most hated when he went to Miami in 2010.
Facts.
And, I feel like, that's a very,
Yeah,
very
that was
good
a good
comparison.
one. I like that. All right, Carl, what you got?
I got one from the greatest rapper of all time.
Here we go.
Hey, you don't? You really know. But it's also paying homage to Stuart Scott. Shout out to R.I.P. Stuart Scott. But he says, I got game like Stuart Scott, fresh out the ESPN shop, and when Sports Center's popping, everybody's watching, but you ain't fronting. I know what you watching, me.
All right, Chris, what you got?
Mine is, of course, one of my favorite rappers, J. Cole, Return of Simba. He goes, we got a foot in. What's good is good. That'll get you Drew Gooden. But me, I want Jordan numbers. LeBron Putin. You can't guard me. Vince Lombardi. John Wooden.
Ooh, bars. All right.
Bars. Shut the mic. You got
guys. I got one. It comes from the great Aubrey Graham as well. So he says, are they really discussing my career again? Asking if I'll be going platinum in a year again? Don't I got the world want to hear again? Don't Michael Jordan still got his hoop here again?
Do we still?
I think he does.
Oh, shoot.
Well, awesome, guys. Thanks for definitely enjoying the show today. So that's all the time we have for today's special edition of Hitting the Field. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next week, 12:30, here on YouTube. Wakanda forever.